The trend of people wanting to leave America is consistently growing. We see more and more people that are literally proclaiming that they are leaving. They're tired. They're tired of their jobs. They're tired of not being able to find a job, or they're tired of the grind here in the US trying to keep up with the cost of living. They're tired of the violence, of just everything that's always going on. And
crimes.
they're packing up their bags, moving their families. And a lot of people, really interestingly enough, don't have much plans when they move abroad. They're just kind of picking up and going.
My husband and I were sitting on the porch.
They don't. Like, people just go because we don't want. Then they don't have any plan. They find themselves in the middle of.
Morning, we were just discussing the culture in the United States and how there's always this undercurrent of like violence and hostility, and it's everywhere all the time, and you feel very vulnerable to it, and sometimes you don't really even know you're feeling it, but it's there. And I asked him, when you go to a movie theater, do you assess who's in the room and who might be a threat and who might be hiding something in their coat?
Not only there, like everywhere now, like in public, in everywhere, like you just need to pull up your camera because you don't know. You might be the person who actually sell the old scene of something that might happen. It's crazy.
And like what you would do if they just like stood up and started shooting. Like, how are you going to get out of the room? How are you going to keep our boys safe? And he's like, yeah, I do. And I said, I do too. We never talked about that openly. And we both agreed, like, we do it all the time. We're at the grocery store, at a concert, at church, at our kids' school. What if who among these people is a threat? And what would we do if they stood up and started to do something? How would we get out of here? How would we protect our kids?
You pull up your camera and start recording. It sounds funny, but what are you gonna do?
That is always in our minds. And I don't think we realize the mental toll and the physical toll that takes on us to always be doing that mental calculations, those mental calculations. And then not only that, but the culture in the US is such that you're always feeling like someone is trying to get one over on you or like use you somehow. There's always this sense of like you're competing, you're not helping each other, you're not supporting each other, you're competing with each other. And that person is he's your enemy. He's your neighbor, but he's also your enemy. Like you try to make sure that he doesn't mow on your side of the lawn too much because that's yours. That's your property. He's trying to take it from you. There's this sense of like it's real like selfishness and self-centeredness and gotta get mine and keep mine and not let anyone else take mine. And
no sense of community anymore. So this video is really actually it's right on point. So they're talking about more and more Americans are they're literally leaving. They don't want to live here anymore. But it's unfortunate because I've been here for quite a long time, over close to a decade now, experiencing a different mindset. You know, growing up 10 years ago, you know, it was still at a certain level, but this one is like a little bit on steroid, plus internet and everything that's going on, mental, problems and all that, depression, all that stuff going on in this country. Like, it's crazy. And I see people now literally not being devoted to the country that they were born in. Like, it's crazy. Like, you literally abandon a beautiful place like this one. This is like one of the beautiful country in the world. Like, and I found myself like in the middle of, I need to protect something that I wasn't even born here, but I have to feel the need. Why? Because it gave me an opportunity to be here and, to be who I am today. You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, I'm like, why are these people going? What's the real reason why we are watching this video? If you are actually watching this video, let me know. Would you leave America for another country? And if you are actually thinking about it, what country do you go to? Or would you want to travel to or move out of?
I'm really looking forward not to feel that all the time. I don't think we realize that we're feeling it. We're not conscious of it all the time, but I really want to not feel it, And I want to raise my sons not to think that way or have those sort of feelings or have to do those calculations in their head about like, how am I going to get out of this without getting shot? That's what I want. So that's why I am taking my 2 sons, who are 7 and 9, and my husband and myself to the other side of the world.
Where?
To get away from this place.
Japan?
Americans are leaving.
Where are we? Okay, where are we living? Like, where are we going? I understand that the cost of living, the affordability, crime, we don't feel free anymore. I get it. Walking in the malls and all that stuff, we don't feel secure anymore in our own country. If I say we, all the residents and even citizens and all that stuff. So we are all in it. We need to work together, but then at the same time, we don't feel comfortable. Like, what's going on?
They're leaving this country in record numbers, but the amount of Americans that want to leave,
I really want to know the numbers. I don't think that people are living like that. This is just internet. Let me double check.
that's got to be a new record in itself. 63% of Gen Z want to leave the United States. Their
They want to, but they're not.
main reason being there is no economic future here. Okay, 68% of people in this country say that they are surviving rather than living. 52%
That can be true.
of millennials also want to leave the United States, while Gen X and boomers
Okay, all want to leave. We all want to leave, yes, maybe, but we are not leaving. I need to double check. I'm actually doing my research.
want to stay put. Only 25 and 26% of them, respectively, have any interest in leaving the United States. And while, yes, there is a huge gap of people who want to leave and people who can leave and people who end up actually leaving, this is worrying, right? Who's going to be left in the country if all the young people want to go somewhere else? Where do these people want to go, you might ask? Well, the top 5 countries that they want to move to are Canada, the UK.
Canada, it's still kind of the same thing. UK, I don't think so. Yeah, UK. If you're an influencer, if you do some sort of media, even Canada, it's actually good. If you are in the tech industry, absolutely, you will definitely do fine. But the cost of living, it's also crazy. I have friends there, they pay too much now for rent and all that stuff. Like, it's literally the same thing. I don't know. Maybe they don't know what's going on there. So sometimes we are just traveling because it sounds good, but we don't know the reality. I mean, do your research. People are suffering right now for rent in Canada. Yes, let me actually look it up. First off, let me look for the first one, and then
Australia, France, and Italy. There is a tidal wave.
France. That's the wrong place to be right now. Like literally. France is the wrong place to be. I think this guy is lying. I need to fact check him. But honestly, the reason why I say this, I have people in France with this immigration, people coming from Africa going to London, France, and all that stuff, like all like the Nigerian, Senegalese, and all that Malian people from Mali, the old West African, all these we call it la traversée. It people traveling actually, going from Morocco and like traveling to Europe, bro. Like people, homelesses in France, like it's worse. People don't have jobs, assistance and all that stuff. So I don't think that it's a place for Americans. I need to double check. And why did you say that?
Of people that want to leave this country. And I can't say that I blame them. Life here is hard. I'm not saying it's a bed of roses anywhere else, but here it just feels impossible. We're moving abroad next year and we can't be more excited.
I think I've reached my breaking point after watching the Department of War speech yesterday. You would think it would have been different things, but honestly, that's just the rhetoric and the words that were used, and having 2 young boys, and just looking back at what has changed since January already, and how fast things have escalated. I've always wanted to move abroad. I could try to use that excuse, but honestly, at this point, it's what's happening in our government and in our daily lives. I don't feel safe here, and I don't feel safe with my kids here. So we have a 17-year-old dog. That's like, honestly, if that wasn't the case, I would be like, we just got to do it. I would be like, rip the Band-Aid off. Let's do it. Whatever, blow up our lives and move abroad. We have her, and I just don't feel good about traveling with her, and I don't feel good about leaving.
Okay, so I have the stat. So about 0.1% of the population of Americans leave the US to live abroad each year. So roughly 30,000 people to 150,000 people. I think this is just normal. Well, when you compare the ratio about, the people trying to, migrate here, it's like kind of like the same thing. So these are just some cases, but it's not like an actual, people are migrating like a whole mass of people. Yes, the idea of going, yes, but actual going, it's here and there. But people are here. Like we still here, man. We are fighting.
Her. So I think my plan B now is trying to finish out the school year, getting rid of things and really downsizing as that's happening, and moving to Canada for 6 months until we can figure out our next step. But I feel like I have to have a step that feels like I'm doing something right by my kids and my family, instead of just staying here in limbo and not really knowing a time and not really knowing the plan. I think for my mental state of being, I need to put a plan into action. I am an Aries. I need that.
She's funny. She's dropping some zodiac signs because you're an Aries. So what? Come on now. This is a joke. I'm so sorry. I know that you guys want to watch these videos, but she's a joke. Because of just that comment, she's a joke. Even that decision, actually, she doesn't even have any plan yet. In Canada, it's still the same thing. What are you going to do in Canada 6 months? And then you think about what? Like this.
Need to feel like I'm executing something and completing something, and I've got this fire energy. So yeah, so that's my new plan, guys.
She's the Lulu.
Guys, tell me what you know about Canada.
She doesn't even know, bro. Bro, let's stay in this beautiful country, man. Let's stay and fight. I know we can do it, bro. We can do it. This is a beautiful country in the world, by the way.
You guys want to see my Albanian apartment? It's a little lived in at the moment, but that's okay. Why not?
She looks Albanian, by the way.
So here's coming in from the front door. I have one bedroom. This is my bedroom. I have the shade down, but as you can see, I have a beautiful sea view out the window. Leaving the bedroom, the second bedroom, which is where I store.
She has an accent. She's not fully American. I can tell.
Stuff, but also for when my children come to visit. So if you're one of my children and you're watching this, come to visit. Again, a beautiful sea view out the window. And then I have my bathroom, the washer, no dryers here really, a shower door that desperately needs to be cleaned. And of course, the infamous doorless shower, but honestly, this was better than the other traditional Albanian showers. Let me know in the comments if you want to see what the traditional Albanian showers look like, because my shower with no door, with water that spills out on the floor, is luxury compared to those. Okay, my messy kitchen. I just ate lunch. Refrigerator, my little workspace, my couch.
I actually like that. It's like, a little open.
And then my patio, which also has my beautiful sea view. So yeah, that's my cute little Albanian apartment. I pay about €550 a month, which is high. For
close to $700, by the way.
Albania. Okay, I have a nice apartment in Albania. I'm paying for it. Okay, average would be, I would say, $350, $450. It's probably what you're gonna pay in US dollars. It's, the US exchange rate sucks right now, but my apartment's probably around $600. And then my utilities are like, oh my God. I came from Florida where I paid, over half what I'm paying in rent here. But over the summer, my electricity and my water combined, running the air conditioning full time, never went over €50. So yeah, there you go. That's the kind of place you can get in Albania.
We are moving our...
Okay, Albania. Well, I don't know if I'll be able to go there, but I'm staying here. That's my take. But maybe to visit. I might go to Albania, be Albanian. I'll meet some Albanians, and you feel me.
Family from Florida to Spain. I have 2 kids aged.
Oh, that's worse. Spain. I don't have I don't have any problem with Spain, but Spain, bro, like from US to Spain, that's the worst move. I'm so sorry, bro. Unless you are an influencer. Like I said, these videos, bro, don't be fooled. Most of these people, they're making these videos so they can have bread. That's how they live, like, you know, recreating scenes and all that stuff. Like they live based on what they actually making. Spain, they don't have jobs, bro. They don't have jobs, bro. We say we don't have jobs in America, bro. We are lucky. We are blessed here. That's crazy. She's making money on social media. That's how she's making money, and there, $4,000 is a lot. So if you are making more than $5,000 just based on YouTube, you can literally survive in Spain, unless you are into fashion, things like that, like actually like marketing or just media in general. Like I said, it's still the same thing like social media. Then you can make it. Like, what are you gonna do?
6 and 7, we are all neurodivergent, and we are a family that lives paycheck to paycheck. So we are a lot like everyone else in the country right now. We're not super wealthy. We don't have savings. We're living paycheck to paycheck, but we are figuring out how to make this work. The time has come and we need to get out of America. So this is our journey. Today, one of the most important steps happened, and that was submitting all of our paperwork for our passports. The kids had to apply for brand new passports because they didn't have them, and I had to apply for a renewal and a name change. It was a bit stressful and it almost didn't happen, but somehow everything worked out, and the people there were so kind and helped us even when they didn't have appointments and they didn't have to. And I am so grateful for that. Originally, we were planning on leaving around January, February to move to Spain. However, things have changed and we're probably going a lot sooner than that. Looking at flight details and stuff, the cheapest flights that I can find are like the week of Thanksgiving in November. The day that the flights are the cheapest by a lot happens to be my birthday. We are potentially looking at leaving in November on my birthday. It is a bit sooner than expected, and we wanted to try and have holidays here with my extended family before we left, but we're not comfortable with the way things are going so quickly, and so we figured if our house sells quick enough, we should probably just get out. The tickets being the cheapest on my birthday is honestly like,
nobody cares about your birthday. I'm so sorry. I would just skip this video. Like, she's a little...
You will be able to leave on my birthday, and I love that.
Hey y'all, my name is Sanaya, and my fiance and I just went to Albania literally yesterday. We moved from Atlanta, and it really hasn't hit me fully yet, but I'm so excited to be here. The people, the culture, the food. We're going apartment hunting today, and we are currently at lunch. So I just wanted to show you a little bit of where I'm at, what I'm eating. Look at this food, y'all. OMG.
I moved to Mexico a month ago.
That lady was, oh no, Okay, so she said, I moved to Mexico on a temporary residence visa. Okay.
Go, and I've been meaning to make a video about how exactly, if anyone is interested in why, I could make another video. But basically, I decided it was time to leave the US, and so I went and researched how to get a visa. If you're from the US, you can travel to Mexico with just a passport and stay for up to 6 months, but I decided that I don't want to have to go back if I don't want to.
Our family has left the United States.
It's only people with privilege, that can come back anytime that take these type of decisions. Honestly, I'm telling you the truth. I'm so sorry, but I'm telling this the truth. She's just on vacation. If there is something wrong, security, she's American. American will go there and make sure she's back.
5 weeks ago, and today I want to show you our way and our typical walk from our home in Brazil on the east coast of Brazil, which our home is all the way back here. So then we walk, and this is a gated community, and that's my kids, and this is like forest.
They look like they don't want to be there, bro. Especially the guy, they don't want to be there. They're forced to be on the internet, bro. Look at that. Look at this face. What the?
And that's my kids.
What is going on? Look at the guy. Oh my gracious. He's like, oh mom, come on. You always do this.
Forest called the Floresta Amazonica. And so we are on our way to the beach, which is a typical afternoon for us. It's like 3:30 in the afternoon. And you can see here, this is like...
He's missing his friend the whole way.
Forest. We're walking on a bridge so that we can get to the beach. Now, as you can see, this is peaceful. And now over here on this side...
Brazil. Rio de Janeiro, the most dangerous place on the planet. These people are fool.
You get to see a river, and so I'm gonna share with you the path between now and the beach. So now we are getting to a section of the community where the playground for the kids is here, and as you can see, there's...
And if you hear the population they're talking about gated community, it means it's rich people places. You know, they get paid enough money. But like I said, American money, when you go outside, it's a lot. So when you talk about gated community, it's actually, you know, good places to live. Yeah, there's a little bit of security, but, you know, you're paying...
Tons of nature here. There are more homes going this way. This here is like a club of the house where they typically do events.
5 days left before we...
Reason why people, indigenous, get mad in countries such as South Africa. You guys leave your country and come and take beautiful houses that we built, that we are planning. I'm just telling you the truth, how people think. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you left your beautiful country where everybody would love to be. The dream that you guys created, participate to create. I'm just telling you on, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, the perspective. And you will see that in those places, in those countries, people start being rebellious. They start, you know, what we faced in South Africa. And I think deep down it's still there. I lived there for quite a long time, so I understand. I know what's going on. These are the things like that. And I know it's create things, but hey, whatever.
You leave the U.S. and my garage looks like this, which is great. My piles of stuff are slowly diminishing, which is excellent. I feel really good about that. I'm very happy with the results. I did, however, get rear-ended this morning, so that was exciting. I had both my kids in the car. This is just one of those things that people follow you closely, and it was like a 17-year-old kid. His first question as he got out of the car was, "Are your kids okay?" Really appreciate that. Not super mad about that, but you know, we live in a very car-centric culture, and this is one of the reasons that I've said on this channel why we're leaving. You know, it can't happen soon enough.
This has been 9.
What is the reason for him leaving, by the way? This is the only guy that would, you know, with the nose ring could actually leave America.
Channel why we're leaving. You know, it can't happen soon enough.
This has been 9 months in the making. I feel like I'm having another baby, but tomorrow we finally move abroad. So here's
Congrats. Bye.
everything I did today in the literal final minutes before we're going to board a plane. Today I did a lot of the document printing. So I printed a copy of all of our passports, a copy of our health insurance, a copy of our hotel confirmations, and our flight confirmation. Is that all necessary? Not totally, but I personally every trip I print out all those things.
Nobody
so I did
cares,
that.
But
and
okay.
Speaking of health insurance, I also got health insurance for our family this morning as well. So we went through a global health insurance company called Safety Wing. It's going to get us started for any catastrophic events that we have. And then we might add additional health.
Oh, last 24 hours in the US before my family moves to Ecuador.
Insurance once we are in country. We also went through and canceled a bunch of our subscriptions. I bought a VPN for my computer, and we're going to try to get it on our Fire Stick as well, but we have a VPN for my computer for work. Speaking of work, I sent out a couple last invoices and service agreements for some new projects and clients that I'm working on so that they are in their inbox and I can travel tomorrow knowing that the ball's in their court and I don't have to worry about work tomorrow. We went to the bank and deposited a bunch of the loose change and everything. We sat and rolled them all into the paper rollers and deposited all of those. And then we took out a little bit of starting cash to get us through until we get to the ATMs in Cuenca. I sent some confirmation messages to our driver and our hotels just to make sure everybody's good to go.
That's crazy. Ecuador? Let me do my research about Ecuador, bro. I know a family. They are from, not from Ecuador, but close to Ecuador. So it's not fun.
Trying to move to a foreign country, just me and my kid, all on our own. And I see these people that are like, yeah, I sold everything I owned and packed up and just moved. How? Literally, how do you sell everything you own? Do you have a massive garage sale and everything must go? Do you put everything on Facebook Marketplace and go insane? Is this available? Is this available? Is this available? How did you guys actually sell everything you owned, packed up, and moved? Please enlighten me. I'm stressed.
Okay, so I'm reading something about Ecuador. Okay, here is this is ChatGPT. I don't know if it's actual fact, but I'm going to read this thing. What's going on here? So here's a quick snapshot. Ecuador has safety issue right now. So some serious, other manageable depending on where you go. So she say Ecuando something like that. Okay, Kwanzaa or something. Okay, what's going on? So the country is is in the state of emergency right now as I'm reading right now. So the country is in a state of emergency in many provinces because of raising of gang violence. Look at where people are actually moving. This is, if it's not this, I don't know what's going on. So violence, crime, robberies, kidnapping, extortions, and more common, especially in big cities like Guayaquil and whatever, and border of regions of Colombia. So protests and strikes over economic policies, few problems, and these are just small examples. And have erupted. These sometimes lead to unrest, road blockage, and disruptions. It's worse and worse. It's not a.
So we are moving in 10 more days to Mexico, and we will be driving there from Atlanta, Georgia, all the way down to Oaxaca area. I'm feeling very, very nervous. I already found one part-time remote job, kind of. It's for social media, but it's not going to pay enough to pay all of our bills. I am pivoting my interior design business to virtual design only. Unless you live in Atlanta, then I have a great list of people that you can use for installations as well. But I'm feeling very, very scared and nervous because I need a consistent income, and my partner has done all the installations and labor and whatnot for our business for 9 years. And he is trying to steer away from that. He is an architect from Mexico, but he only ever did school and graduated. He didn't actually have a position working as an architect before coming to the United States. So I'm just feeling a little bit nervous about that. He's trying to get into real estate. If anyone knows any good real estate programs down in Oaxaca City, we would love some recommendations for that. That's what he thinks that he wants to do down there.
So they're moving to Mexico without a full-time job. This is scary. I don't know what's going on with people. Why do people take that big risk? First off, it's another country. People with no plans. She says she has a social media. I guess she's still doing the same thing wow, you and I are doing right now. but it's not gonna pay enough, and she's just exposing the husband business right now. So literally the husband doesn't have a job, so we need to figure it out. What? Okay.
Insight on that. I know you don't technically have to be licensed in Mexico, but he wants to do it the right way, the very professional way, just to be ahead of the curve. And yeah, feeling very, very nervous about our move, and excited too, but really just moving somewhere without 100% like income that's going to pay all of your bills and whatnot is very nerve-wracking. We have enough to live off of for a couple of months, maybe a few, just depending on how things go once we're down there. But it is a little bit frightening, moving somewhere and not knowing for sure what the money is going to be like as well. So I am just feeling very nervous. But yeah, if anyone has any tips or insight on anything around that area, I would love to do interior design.
You guys tell me, are people just, is it natural for people just, wake up in the morning and just go? I mean, this is scary. Like with no plan, like literally leaving your job and everything. Okay, I'm going with no job in another country, different language, different everything. I'll figure it out. That's crazy. That's crazy. And then you will judge all these people coming in America with nothing. That's crazy. Americans are literally doing the same. Look at the family with kid in Ecuador, with the family in Spain. People are moving. The lady go in Brazil. Like, bro, let's stay in America, okay? I really want you guys to focus on America first. I know we are facing problems right now. We are facing extremely serious problems, but leaving, I don't think that's the solution. Let's talk about it. Let's post more videos and ask questions. What's going on? Who is they? They need to. Who is they? Who are ranking the price up? Why is it going up? Let's ask these questions. Let's have conversations. We are the people. We are the most powerful piece of the puzzle. Let's figure it out. Let's find out. Let's talk about it. The people that we voted to rule this country, let's ask them questions. What's going on? Fix it. We vote you for that. We keep on printing money, and then when we have inflations and then things are pricey and all that stuff. Man, the reason I might be sometimes some conservative people are actually talking, and others are just sitting and just going with crazy policies. But it's all right. It's all right. Okay, let's fight about it. And it'd be great. All right. I'll see you in the next one. If you're new on the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. All right.